Hello, 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 hello. Hello, 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 Mr. Clinton. Today we are learning how to set up a virtual private server. Hello. Where are the people? Where are the people? Where are the people? Hello, 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 hello. We're waiting for people to join in. More people to join in, so that we proceed with setting up the VPS. Yeah, I can see Eddie joining in. Habari, habari, habari. There's Jerry. Jerry has just joined us. Otis is coming in. Habari yenu, habari yenu. Today we'll be setting up a virtual private server. Yeah, today that's what we'll be doing. That's what we'll be doing. That's what we'll be doing. I'm just waiting for more people to join in. But I notice people are watching football. Maybe today was wrong timing. Habari Sasura Felix 1-2. Habari like and share. Today's space is about learning how to set up a virtual private server. It's very easy, by the way. It's not going to take more than 15 minutes, maybe even less. Yeah, so you can give me a like or a wave or whatever, so that I know that oh, sawa. Ngoja Quorum build up, then we set up this server, and hopefully you'll be able to do it on your own for your own apps or whatever. Could be a website, could be a web app, it could be even a desktop app. It could be anything. It could be anything. I was getting some DMs with some people. Somebody was asking me was telling me rather how they took an entire day to do it, and I could not believe it. I feel like setting up a VPS server. I'm not saying it's easy, but it shouldn't take you long. So today we'll just deal with setting it up. Not so much to do with the security. Habari DJ Mesh, habari. Hapa tuna discuss how to set up a server. Habari. So we won't I won't want to go deep into security and securing the what is it called, the server that you'll set up. I just want us to be able to set up habari Mex jina yako ngumu, but habari, I hope you're well. Today we're going to learn how to set up an online virtual private server. Na nimechukua time mbaya sana. Sasa hii kuna mpira inaendelea, and Kenyans like football. Kenyans like football. I picked the wrong time, it could be. But today we're going to learn how to set up a server. England, Argentina. Yeah, what was I thinking setting up this live today? But to whom it may concern. To whom it may concern. Waiting for more people to come in, or ikifika hapo 12 minutes tunaendelea. Ambao watajoin sawa, ambao hawatajoin pia ni sawa. Jana I got a few more people joining in, and I was actually doing a test for the live. This is like the second live. Habari Dr. Dr. Tech. Today we'll be learning how to set up a server, virtual private server. Yeah, that's what we'll be doing today. I'm just waiting for more quorum, but you can like the live, or you can even share it to people you think might interest them. So today is just a simple walkthrough. And ikifika hapo na dakika 10 we can just proceed and then tumalize. By the way, habari, hapa leo tuna learn how to what is it called, we are learning how to set up an online private server, a virtual private server. We set it up, and then we see if we can access that IP, and probably even have the database running and see how you can connect to it. This is a very straightforward thing. Yeah, so if you can just share, you can share, you can like. Imefika dakika 10, mimi nitaendelea tu, watakao kutupata pia ni sawa. So HHHH has just joined. Habari HHHHH. Habari. You can like. AJ amejoin. Habari yako AJ. Leo tuna learn how to set up a virtual private server. So now I think we can just start. So I'm assuming everybody knows what a VPS is. Like, you know, what is a VPS? What's the importance? So you know, we have what is called live virtual machines. Virtual machines is exactly that, a machine that has been virtualized. Now, so some of these service providers, be it DigitalOcean, Google, Amazon, wanatumianga hizo virtualization softwares ambazo they can allow one machine to, and a machine is just a server, hiyo server ambao sasa inaweza kuwa na so many instances, meaning that one server can have multiple installations of operating systems. Because it's virtual, it allows for that. Mpaka hata in each installation inakuwa na IP yake. Sijui kama hapo nime make sense. You can imagine uko na kompyuta moja, na hiyo kwa hiyo kompyuta moja inaweza kukuwa na Windows, inaweza kuwa na Ubuntu, yani iko na mingi zina run at the same time, and each of those instances ziko na IP yake. Kwa nini unahitaji IP? You need the IP because of this server needs to be accessed publicly. So kama mtu ako na simu yake wants to access your server, anafaa kuiaccess. If somebody is on their computer, they want to access your server, they need to be able to access it. So public access. So many services that you use on your day to day zimewekwa kwa virtual private server. From, kama if you are from Kenya, eCitizen, I'm sure you're using eCitizen, that is a VPS. Kama ni ile ya NTSA, that's a VPS. If you are online, if you're not in Kenya, most of these, I will not say Netflix is on a VPS, but orchestration yake has some semblance to it. So many things that we use, and especially for apps online, zinakuanga implemented or orchestrated using virtual private server. So I think we've just defined what a virtual private server is. So now, where do you get these VPS service providers? There are so many. You can get them locally, you can get them ambazo ziko online, ambazo ziko international. You have Amazon, you have Google, you have Microsoft, you have Linode, you have DigitalOcean, you have Hetzner, what you're going to use today, it's Hetzner. So today we're going to use Hetzner. But you can use whatever. And for this example, we are going to use Ubuntu, Linux. I think Hetzner has up to Ubuntu 24, but there are a few differences with Ubuntu 26. So, hey, habari John, habari Kaysan, and Andrian. Hapa hii ni live ya how to set up your virtual private server. Yes, so karibuni sana. Sasa ndio tunaingia kuanza kuset up. And today we are going to be using your Hetzner. What am I saying today for this live? So what is Hetzner? This is what Hetzner is. Let me show you. Let me show you. This is Hetzner, as you are seeing. Why Hetzner, or what consideration before choosing a VPS? Okay. It depends on what? It depends on, number one, of course you want to look at something like reliability and availability. So reliability and availability, what does this mean? It means how available is this service that you want to use, and what do we mean by how available? Yani iko stable, in 1 year inaanguka mara ngapi? So kuna kuanga na hizo zinaitwanga system availability ambazo zinaanza from 90 all the way to 99.9999, I think ni 96. So the more, let me just open it here, system availability, system, yeah. So acha nikuonyeshe hapa kuna watu wameandika kuhusu hii kitu. This is not nice. Wikipedia does a better job actually. Yes. So hapa I want us to go all the way. Nao pia kuna hiyo ambayo inaonyesha system availability. Oh yeah. Hapa sasa. So sasa utaona kuna, okay, for me that this way I go first. I see how available your system is. So kama ni ya 90 ina maana for every year 37 days itakuwa iko chini. Ikiwa 99 for every year 3 point something days itakuwa chini, downtime, na pia wanaweka per month hapa. Wengine wanasema ikikuwa hapa you will only have 53 minutes in a year ikiwa chini, and this is 4.4 minutes in every month, which I think depending on whatever it is that you are doing, these two should be good enough. Maybe until here, let's say you really are doing highly available systems ambazo zinafaa kuwa online sana. So the more reliable or available they are, the more expensive they get. So hizi zinakuwa kwa sema brills zinakuwa kwa the description ya hizo VPS. Wanakuanga wameweka hapo, wanashinda wakisema this is how we are going to do in terms of making sure that your service is available. So kuna hiyo, and then kuna costs. So kuna mtu anataka kitu iko affordable, iko fiti, whatever. Haya, kuna wengine ni ease of use. Kuna watu wanapenda kitu iko rahisi kutumia hapo sasa. Kuna wengine wanapenda what can I say? Wanapenda kitu ambacho it can scale well, and it can allow for scaling. Kwa sasa kuna services zingine ambazo ukizitumia ukisha pick an instance nikao umekwama nayo kabisa. Yani hivyo sasa ndo unashinda kukaa nayo, but there are so many reasons. I hope hiyo 1-2 imekujibu. Yeah, Machine Whisperer has just joined us. Hello. Leo tuna discuss how to set up a virtual private server and have it what is it called, and you start using it, uweke app yako hapo uanze kuitumia. So that's what we are discussing today. Haya, so now okay, now we can move on. So this is Hetzner, and I'm not saying Hetzner is the best the best virtual private server. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying this is what nimeitumia leo for this what can I say, for this example. So this is what I've used today for this example. So as you can see, here ni Hetzner. So Hetzner is from what I understand, it's a German company. Yeah, it's a German company ambao wanauza hizi VPS maybe ni blanda, but acha tu niseme wako before. Hii ndo ujinga Hetzner, na ni kitu nimekuwa nikijaribu kuambia waache but hawataki. So when you are signing up, they require your ID for KYC. Hata Amazon doesn't do that. This for me I found to be very funny. And then so there's an incident. I don't want to be quoted anywhere, but I'll just put it here. But you can quote me because ni ukweli. For whatever reason, wakiona watu wako na jina inakaa kama Muislamu wanakataa. So this I've seen in 2 instances, and I was like, what is going on here? So Hetzner will require you to, after you sign up, you submit your KYC documents, and then they do their thing, and then now you start using it. Lakini hizi zingine kama Linode, Google nini, hizo ni direct, unatengeneza tu account. I don't like the customer service ya Amazon. I don't find it to be, and this occurs when, for example, something that is beyond your control. If I remember there was a time they were having issues last year when Amazon was up, down, and they will give reasons which were not making sense. Baadaye ikaja ikajulikana, they were automating their workflow using artificial intelligence, and some of us got affected with that. And yes, so mimi sasa natumia Hetzner not for any other reason. Hetzner inakaa tu hivi vile mnaiona inakaa tu hivi, lakini sasa tutakuja hapa kwa create a resource. We just come here and create a resource. So once you create a resource, me I'll pick a server. Once I pick a server, poleni, hii studio iko na mambo. Hii TikTok live studio. Sasa tukishafika hapo, you're supposed to choose. You choose. Kuna cost optimized, kuna general purpose, kuna whatever. Sasa hadi mpaka I think they have ones for AI that you can decide to pick kama uko na AI workloads. Naona mpaka wamepeana description hapo, cost effective, low CPU usage, medium traffic, best performance, depending on what you're doing. So for this example, I'll just use the cost optimized option. Unaona imeandika limited availability, and we have just understood what availability means. So hii iko limited availability. Mimi nitachagua, let me just pick the Intel architecture, and so there's a difference. They have 2 types of architectures. Wako na Intel na hii ARM64. So ni wewe. Na inakaa hii ARM64 is a bit more expensive than hiyo ya Intel. Kitambo it used to be $4 per month, but now because of we have decided our lives are residing and living with AI, we are paying for it. We are really paying for it. They actually sent a circular saying that their VPS costs were going to go high, and they even explained it. Wakasema hii ni mambo ya artificial intelligence. So sasa tuko hapa. What am I going to choose? See, I've already selected that. What's wrong with this? It doesn't allow me. It doesn't give me options. Not available. No. Oh, sorry. Haiko available in that location. So now I would choose, what do I choose? Helsinki, Singapore, nini? Nuremberg iko in Germany. Nuremberg hapo kuna, kama unapenda historia, kuna kivitu inaitwa the Nuremberg trials. Mabeste wa Hitler walipelekwa huko mbaya sana. Sasa imekubali. Nimechagua hii 4GB RAM. It's around $6 a month. Nimechagua hiyo. So what's happening here is you pick the location where your VPS is going to be. I advise on picking a location that is close to the country you are in. Amazon used to have what is that term yenye wanatumia? Wako na whatever, some cash center in Mombasa, DMZ, yeah, hiyo ndo word nilikuwa imeniponia. So ndo maana saa ngine kama uko na app ya unataka ikuwe very available na very fast, unaweza tumia Amazon uiset up huko. Hadi hii inaitwa nini hawa watu wa Konza, they also have good things. Ni vile tu I don't know about their reliability assessment, and I didn't like their what is it called, their interface, because unaona hii unaweza chagua location. Sasa hapa tunafaa kuchagua operating system. Mimi ni mtu wa Ubuntu. Mimi ni mtu wa Ubuntu, na hapa unaweza chukua Ubuntu yote. Kuna 26, kuna 24. Nitachagua hii not because of any other reason, cause hii kama on DigitalOcean imekuwa experience some issues with it. What advantages of using VPS instead of using a hosting platform? No, Google gives VPS. I think what you mean ni Superbase ama Firebase ama whatever. I don't know. Do you mean that? Because Google also has VPS. Inaitwanga Google Cloud. Google Cloud. So Google Cloud wako nayo. This is their, they're using different terminology for the same things. So Google has its own. But if you mean inaitwa nini hiyo kitu hiyo, what is it called, Superbase, Firebase nini, that is good for apps that you don't want to spend so much but you still want an app to run. We rarely use because of control. We like to control, we like to understand. And easy zinaitwa nini, easy, for example, render. Yeah. So there are so many options. Mimi, I have no affiliation to Hetzner. They are not paying, they are not nini. I could have easily used Google or Amazon or whatever, but nimetumia tu hii. I could have easily used whatever. It's easier to set up on Hetzner than, I know it's going to be, Google is also easier, but hii ni very straightforward. Google na Amazon iko na wako mpaka na macauses ya how to set up simple things like this, which according to me they need to be straightforward, but wao wanazimake zinakuwa complicated. I don't know. So hapa nimechagua Ubuntu 24. I could have chosen 26, but there's a reason why, but it's good to use the 26. 26. Okay, hii 24 iko na kitu itonga LTS. LTS ni long term support. Hiyo 26 yenye imetoka in some of these companies, not all of them zinakuanga na long term support. So you need something that is going to be supported for long as you're using. And then also from my experience, especially with Linux, the distributions ambazo zinatoka, zile ambazo ziko very current, in most cases zinakuanga on, you can say, the early releases, especially the nightly builds. There are things which might work, things which might not work. So if kama uko na application ya ambayo is supposed to be highly available, I will not advise in, always, yani ikitoka unaeka, because there are so many things that I've seen. I can tell you, kwa mfano kama nini, there was a problem with MySQL, and I think even Postgres, on kuna update yenye ilifanyika. So it doesn't mean that they are bad, it means that they need to have some beta window where they review, na kila kitu iko sawa, tunaendelea nayo. J Kim, habari, naona umetujoin hapa. Tuna set up a virtual private server. So tumechukua Ubuntu 24, and then now we come here kwa networking. So hapa kwa networking, hapa ndio unaamua unataka gani. Kuna IP version 4 na IP version 6. I think hizi ni vitu mnajua. I'll not even try to describe what that is, but whatever. But IP version 4 ni hizi IP za kawaida. Hii IP version 6 ni hizi complique IP complique. And and we are running out of IP version 4s. Hiyo inaitwa nini? Could we remember my CCNA? They're not called subnets, they are called what? Like, you know, we jua tu hizi nikatu we are running out of them. So right now we are moving to this, but you can still use IP version 4. Sasa if you also want your VPS to have kwa mfano kama I can give you an example. If you are building an app ambayo ina interface na vitu financial institutions ama fintech kama banks, in most cases they will tell you that you need to communicate with us using a dedicated link ambayo iko kwa private network. That's when you will need this. But if you don't, what is it called? Sorry, let me scroll. If that is not in your use case, si lazima. But you can put it, but si lazima. So ina depend na wewe. So hapa kuna SSH key. So when it comes to authentication, you can either authenticate using the normal password, or you can use an SSH key. An SSH key is a file ambayo unaitengeza hapa. Ukishaitengeza and then you will be able to download that file, and using that file, hiyo file inakuwa kama kifunguo yako kwa hiyo server. Because now you will log in. Let me not use the word authenticate, but it's supposed to be authenticate. You will log in or authenticate using that file, which is called the SSH key, and then itakufungulia mlango utaingia kwa server. For today, I will not go in this direction, not because of anything, but because we will waste so much time. But this is very important. Actually, I advise people to use SSH keys. Yeah, they are secure. Unaona hapo nasema recommend using SSH key, otherwise you'll receive the root password via email. Yeah. So kuna hiyo authentication scheme ya kutumia file hiyo SSH key file, or you can just authenticate normally using your password. Vile tu una login kwa email yako, unaandika email ndio username password, but now in this case I will show you. Then sasa tunakuja hapa kwa volumes. Wanasema hapa volumes of a highly available SSD blah 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 blah, you can expand. So sisi for our case, I don't think we need a volume. We'll just use what the server has, the package has. Yeah. And then kuna firewalls. What do firewalls allow you to do? Nakumbuka our teacher used to, not our teacher, one of tukiwa shuleni jamaa alikuwa anaita ukuta moto. But now with firewalls you're able to block incoming traffic based on the rules zenye uko nazo. Kwa mfano unaweza sema you want to restrict people from accessing my server using this port or using this IP range nini. Hii ni kucontrol ni nani unataka wakuje na nani hutaki wakuje. So unaweza tumia firewalls. I have seen people play around with firewalls to secure their applications. Yes, it's good. Then kuna backups, which is a very important thing. Hii bana mimi mwenyewe am a victim of at one point not being very specific with backups. I will advise, if you have a service like Hetzner that iko na backup, weka hapo, chagua hiyo option. Hata kama itakucharge 20% of the server price, we chagua. But now for us, we're just testing, so I'm not going to use it. This, what it does, it creates daily snapshots. That's the term. What is a snapshot? A snapshot is kama kwa Windows, the corollary to Windows, hiyo ni inaitwa restore point, whereby you are able to say ngori kitokea kwa hii kompyuta yangu, nataka kurudi kwa hii restore point. So this is, you're just creating restore points. So this one will back up everything, including your databases, your application, your what. Yeah, so in AWS we call file security groups. Yes, we call security groups. Yes, JKIM ni hivyo. Sio iko hapo kwa inaitwa root 43 or something. Ni exactly ni hivyo tu. Yeah, you are right. But sielewi kwa nini AWS inaita hizi vitu root, sijui root 43. JKIM, why do they call it root 43? Ni root 43 ama ni nini? Inaitwa nini? Ni root 40? Root 43. I could be wrong. Ama inaitwa nini? JKIM, what? Yeah, 53. Root 53. Which is, I find it to be complicated. So ite tu firewall, kitu yenye iko kwa vitabu za computer science. So kuna hizi vitu zote nitaziruka tu because I don't think ni muhimu sana. So hapa tutapatia jina yetu ndo hiyo hapo tumeweka. Iko Helsinki nini. Haya tumeweka hapo. Sasa wacha we need to provision this thing. So inaniambia kuna vitu zimekosekana. Oh no, hakuna kitu imekosekana. So naona hapo bili yetu imefika $7. Oh, ebocha niweke vizuri kidogo. Kidogo. Naona hapo bili imefika $7. Haina shida. Oh. Yeah, sasa hawa na Kasongo hawapatani kabisa. Hata unaona hapa wamekuandikia kabisa. All prices exclusive of VAT. So hapa Ruto, hawa pia wako Ruto must go inakaa. Yeah, so we can create it. We can create it. Okay, blanda hii ni you will not be able to expense it kwa, if you are a business, you may sahi wanasema you need to expense all your expenses using e-teams. So without that, inaweza kuletea shida kwa accounting yako, but hey, you do what works for you. You don't have to follow kenye na vile unataka wewe unafanya. Haya, sasa tumesha set up hiyo VPS yetu, ndio hiyo hapo unaiona. Iko Helsinki. Na imetupatia public IP yetu hapo 135.181.47.214. Hiyo ndio tuko nayo sasa. So somebody can, this is what we are going to use when we are authenticating using SSH. Na hii pia unaweza link kwa your domain name. Yeah, you can decide to link it on your domain name. Useme I want to my domain, mtu akitype pale imlete kwa hiyo server yako hii ambayo ndio hii. But for us we are just going to log in using SSH. So ndio hii hapa. I'll just sorry. I've clicked on it. Inafungua hapa. Inatuonyesha tuko na 4GB. By the way, hawa wanauza kwa mbaya, sitaki kuwasifu mimi, hawalipi bana, hawajaweka kitu. Angekuwa wameweka kitu tungewasifu, lakini hapa hawatulipi. So you can see what they are giving. They are doing so much. Sometimes ukiwa umecheza na server yako imekusumbua, you don't want to repeat the process, you can just come and rebuild it. Haya. Wakombaka na load balancers. Anyway, this is for a topic of another day. So me, I'm just going to copy this IP address, and then we need to SSH. We need to SSH to it. Let me kidogo tu capture casa. Yes. Haya, ndio hiyo. ndio hiyo. Sasa ndo tunaanza kufanya mambo. So here is our terminal instance. So on Windows watu wanatumia nini? Wanatumia ile inaitwa what is it, shell or what? Hiyo. I know Windows has. On Linux unatumia to the terminal, on Mac unatumia terminal. So anything that can allow you to SSH, so mimi hapa nitaenda ku SSH. I'm assuming everybody here knows what SSH is. Of course SSH is a secure shell, so we are going to use secure shell. Yeah, Windows iko na PowerShell or Party for Windows. Yes, iko na hizo. So sasa I'm going to write SSH root, alafu ni paste hiyo IP hapo, niingie. The first time it will ask you to confirm authenticity ya hiyo host, ndio ikishai save the next time it will not be asking you. So this is itafanyika tu on your very first time. So ishaadiwa kwa your known list of hosts. Sasa nafaa kuweka password Hetzner huwa wanatumana kwa email. Na ni mrefu. Sasa itabidi hii. This one I'll just have to copy paste bwana. Hapa I'll just have to copy paste. Sasa hii ndio ngori ya password za kawaida. Ingekuwa ni file, ungekuwa tuna nini? Tungekuwa tunacheza nayo. Tungekuwa tunacheza nayo. I'm just copying that password. It's very long. I'm copying, I hope so. And sometimes on e-terminal huwa depending on kama umeweka white spaces hapo inaweza kusumbua sana. You are required to change your password, so let me change it. So on your first login they will tell you to change it, which is typical for any fresh Ubuntu installation. So inakuuliza your current password mwanzo, jani weke the current password. Paste new password. Retype new password. We are retyping. Sawa, imekubali. Ndio hiyo sasa tuko kwa server. We are inside the server. Raila alisema fungua server. Ndio hii hapa sasa, tuko hapa ndani. So now sasa it depends with what you intend to do after this. One can decide to pick hiyo, kwa mfano kama unatumia Apache ama unatumia sijui watu wanatumia nini huku, wengine wanatumia Nginx, wengine whatever it is that you are using, you use. Wengine wanatumia MySQL as their database, wengine wanatumia Postgres, wengine wanatumia whatever, MongoDB nini. So ni wewe vile utakavyoamua. So in our case we are going to what are we going to use? We are going to use I'm intending to use MySQL because I think that's what people commonly use. So if you unless watu wako na preference hapa, but we can just use MySQL with Apache because I think that is a bit straightforward. But now we need to, in as much as yes, we've just installed the Ubuntu 26 as you are seeing here. No, 24. It is to be written here. Wajaandika hapa. Wanafaa kuwa wameandika mahali hapa. I don't know. Yeah. Ubuntu hapa wameandika. But now we still need to update. So kuna hii command inaitwa sudo apt update. Apt ni what we use for Ubuntu. Zingine zinatumia whatever. Some don't use apt, some use kitu inaitwanga snap. So yani this depends on what kind of repository you intend to use. So mi natumia apt sana. So nikisha update, it will take a very short time. So it will take a very short time depending on ambapo penye umehost, na utaona Mira site yao ni Hetzner. Depending on ukiwa kwa Amazon, Mira itakuwa ni Amazon. Mira ni ambapo what happens with these companies is that when Ubuntu is built, Ubuntu inakuanga what can I say? Those files of Ubuntu zinakuanga zinaekwa kwa servers za Ubuntu. Conical, inatoka Conical. Sasa hizo ni Ubuntu zenye wana control. But now because let's say you're an ISP and you want your customers waki-install Ubuntu ikuwe mbio, ikuwe very fast. If they want to install a package in Ubuntu ikuwe very fast, you can go and I think there's an agreement that you have, and then they allow you to have, instead of hizo files zikuwe mbali sana, you can have them on your ISP premises, alafu unaziweka hapo such that to install any package that you want to install, it becomes very fast because of you've been able to reduce the latency. So sahi wacha ni install Apache. Apache ni it's a web server. It's a web server kama Apache tu, kama tu Nginx. Oh sorry, sudo apt. Oh, what am I doing? Mbona inakataa? Yeah. Install. So kisha install, I think by default inakubali port 80. Port 80 is what you access kwa sana on the browser. The browser zinatumianga port 80. So if you remember, our server is let me come here. Our server is this is our server. Let me close this. This is our server here hapa. So right now we can be able to access it hapa kwa browser. Once we access it, yeah, ndo hiyo tumesha set up. So you're able to access it there. This is the default page. That's the default page. So hip hooray, the server has been set up. Yeah, so this is how it looks like. This is how Apache looks like. So now we can decide to continue. What is it called? We install the database. In my case, I'm going to use as I said, MySQL. There is no reason why I'm using MySQL. You can use anything. So apt install MySQL. What is MySQL server? Yeah, MySQL server. Sorry. MySQL server. Install. Ina install. Yeah, sasa hii MySQL server ikiinstall bado haijamaliza. Ndio hiyo hapo ina install. Hapo mnatumia database gani? Natumia MySQL, Mongo, Postgres, nini? What do you use? So sasa ishamaliza kuinstall. So for me, the first thing I do after I install a database instance, I very quickly, you will notice how many ports open at the moment? UFW, so niko na hiyo ni 80 open SSH. I think ni potot SSH na kwanga potot 20 whatever. Yeah, you know, I only have those opened for now. Yeah, so now we need to what were you doing? We need to secure this MySQL instance. So you will notice haitauliza password, unaingia tu na hii ni ngori because you know, MySQL needs a password, but now you can easily set it up. There is inaitwaje hiyo hata inaanza yeah. So MySQL has users, and it's good to create users for MySQL, and these users you can limit their privileges. You can say this user should only be able to perform reads, that one can perform writes, that one can create relations, that one, you know, we vile unataka kama database administrator. We'll do that later, not today. Today we'll just assume we are dealing with the root user. After some time we'll go and make it more complicated, but users are important so that you limit their scope and access levels. So hapa we need to give a password to our root user. That's what we need to do. So there's a command in MySQL inaitwa alter user. There are so many. Me, I'll just use the one that I know. Alter user, and then now root at localhost identified with, so hii inatumia this algo kunini hiyo password, ku encrypt your password. So the password has to be encrypted by today's password. So mi password yangu ni today's password. So that's what we use. Oh, sorry, I need to do this. Niko na tabia mbaya. I need to do this so that you can see. So that is the command that nimetumia. I hope it is correct, because kiaribika hapa, today's password, today's password tumeishika sisi wote. Today's password. Ooh, why has it failed? Sorry, why has it failed? Operation for root. Mbona imefeli? Why has it failed? Not so sure it has failed. Today's password 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I don't know what was wrong with that, but so imekubali today's password 1, 2, 3. So now the next time we try ati sijui kuingia kwa MySQL, itatuuliza password, na kama hatujui so itabidi tumeweka hiyo today's password 1, 2, 3, then inakubali. I noticed there are things are not explained. So this is how we access, this is how we authenticate kwa MySQL instance, whereby this is the command. Inaanza na MySQL, and then inamaanisha user, and then the name of the user, and alafu whatever p inamaanisha the password. Ukifinya hivi itakuprompt uweke password. Yeah, so hiyo ina that's what it means. So for my case ni hiyo, alafu nafaa kuweka today's password 123. I've been able to authenticate. Hapa we can show databases. These are your databases zenye zinakuanga available on default, on default. But we can create our own. Yeah, because we use, I think, akona uwezo wa ku create a database. So in my case, I'm going to say create database code or drink. Yes, I've been able to create it, and yeah, been able to create it, and then now we can create a table. Sasa your table ndio we will just have to pick a table. SQL table create statement inakuanga mrefu, so me I'll just copy paste it users table. Kulikuwa kuna kwanga na hiyo tool ya a table, I don't know, I keep on getting it, but yeah, we are going to use this. We are just going to use this. I'm going to copy this and put it here. Oh, sorry, nimefanya makosa. Mwanzo, you need to select a table, a database. So I'm going to use code or drink. Hey, when you go in your database, show databases, code or drink, see, use code or drink. Yeah, tukishatumia, then we create that table. It has created, and then we can say show tables. Show tables. Yeah, you can even describe users. You can describe that table. It shows you that. Sasa ndo hapo we have our table. Table. So now that we have our table, you know, we have been able to install MySQL. We've been able to install Apache. Yeah, so from here you can decide to either, you know, if you intend to connect to your database using your application yako and then you serve it on Apache, you can always do that. So I think today we've been able to set up a virtual private server. Tumeweza kuset up na I hope you know, it has been clear. It has been not very interactive like yesterday, but yeah, ni hivyo. Kesho maybe we can, after hiyo instance, we can connect application yetu to the database. So unless kuna swali, but naona hapa tumefanya kitu poa. Asanteni sana. Mexesh, naona umeingia, naona anaitwa nani? Yeah, so asanteni sana for today. Today was not a very good day, it seems. We don't have so many people who have joined us, but it had to happen. I think was World Cup inaendelea, but this is how I hope it has been very easy. Unajua saa nyingine maybe unaongea peke yako, watu nadhani wewe ni mwenda wazimu. Wewe unaongea nini wewe? Yeah, cause now I just wanted to do it at the top of the hour. Haya, naona hakuna maswali. Asanteni sana. And I hope you have a good and lovely, you know, mkienda kulala. And also you have a blessed day. kesho ukienda kazini. Haya, kwaherini. Thank you.